Did you know that 90% of conflicts arise from poor communication? In just 5 minutes, you can learn the secret to resolving any argument and strengthening your relationships forever. Effective communication is the key to unlocking harmonious relationships, and I'm here to guide you through the simple yet powerful strategies to improve your communication skills. First, let's understand what communication really means. It's not just about talking, but also listening. Communication is a two-way process that involves sending and receiving information. When we communicate, we're not just conveying our thoughts, but also emotions and intentions. So, it's essential to be aware of how our words and tone can impact others. To communicate effectively, you need to be an active listener. Active listening means fully focusing on the person speaking, giving them your undivided attention. It's about more than just hearing the words. It's about understanding the underlying message. When you're an active listener, you're able to pick up on subtle cues such as body language and tone of voice. This helps you respond in a way that's more empathetic and understanding. Now, let's talk about the importance of empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their feelings. When you're empathetic, you're able to see things from their perspective, which helps you resolve conflicts. Imagine you're in a conversation with a friend who's upset about something. If you're empathetic, you'll try to understand why they're upset, rather than just telling them what you think they should do. But empathy is not the same as sympathy. Sympathy is feeling sorry for someone, while empathy is understanding their feelings. For example, if your friend loses their job, you might say, "Sorry, that's really tough." That's sympathy. But if you say, "I can imagine how anxious you must be feeling right now," that's empathy. See the difference? Effective communication also involves clear and concise language. When you're trying to communicate a message, avoid using jargon or technical terms that might confuse others. Instead, use simple language that's easy to understand. Remember, the goal is to convey your message, not to impress others with your vocabulary. Another crucial aspect of effective communication is nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues are the messages we send without words, such as body language and tone of voice. Make sure your nonverbal cues are consistent with your verbal message. For example, if you're telling someone you're excited about a new project, make sure your body language is showing enthusiasm, not boredom. Now, let's talk about the importance of feedback. Feedback is the response we give others after they've communicated with us. It's essential to give feedback that's specific, timely, and respectful. When giving feedback, try to focus on the behavior or action rather than making a personal attack. For example, if a colleague is late to a meeting, instead of saying "you're always late," say, "I appreciate your hard work, but I need you to be on time for our meetings." Effective communication is not just about speaking, it's also about writing. When we write, we need to be clear and concise, just like when we speak. Avoid using complex sentences or jargon in emails or texts. Remember, the goal is to communicate your message, not to impress others with your writing skills. In addition to these tips, there are a few more things you can do to improve your communication skills. First, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is being present in the moment, fully engaged with the person you're communicating with. When you're mindful, you're less likely to interrupt or get distracted. Second, use I statements instead of you statements. I statements help to avoid blame and defensiveness. For example, instead of saying "you always do this," say, "I feel frustrated when this happens." Lastly, be aware of your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and others. When you're emotionally intelligent, you're better able to navigate conflicts and communicate effectively. In conclusion, Effective communication is a powerful tool for resolving conflicts and strengthening relationships. By being an active listener, empathizing with others, using clear and concise language, and giving specific feedback, you can improve your communication skills. Remember, effective communication is not just about speaking. It's also about listening, writing, and being mindful. Practice these skills, and you'll see a significant improvement in your relationships and overall communication. Thanks for watching. And if you want to learn more about effective communication, be sure to check out our next video. 5 common communication mistakes and how to avoid them.